Okay, thank you all for coming today. We're delighted to have you here. It's good to see so many of us together again. Welcome to the 2021 National Philanthropy Day Awards celebration. My name is Tricia Blosser. I'm president of the Shenandoah chapter of the Association of Fundraising Professionals. And I have to start with just a short story. I was telling my 11-year-old son yesterday that I was coming to an event with a lot of wonderful community leaders that were so generous and made our community a better place and was going to be kind of leading and starting it off. He said, what you should do is do a backflip off of the stage into the crowd. So I am not going to do a backflip, but I hope you agree that the recipients today are really doing metaphorical backflips for the organizations they are serving. So we're grateful for them, and maybe one of them will want to wow you with that. We'll see. Maybe Andy, okay. We are here today to honor and recognize the many people who give their time, talents, and treasures to make our community a better place. It's meaningful to be together again after missing last year. We are putting together a full video of today's event that will be recorded, so those who aren't able to join us in person will still be able to watch as the pandemic continues to linger. So before we begin, let's set the stage with this video from the Association of Fundraising Professionals. Let's watch now.
On behalf of our more than 26,000 members around the world, I want to welcome you to this National Philanthropy Day celebration. This past year and a half has been very, very difficult. It's been full of challenges. We have all been dealing with uncertainty and doubt throughout the entire time. But through it all, we haven't stopped helping each other. National Philanthropy Day is the day that we recognize and celebrate that spirit and the extraordinary impact that we all create through giving and volunteerism. And that's why fundraising is the impact profession, because we bring people together to create the impact that changes the world.
It's an honor to be part of something bigger than us, to be something bigger than the cause that we support, just to say that all together we are changing the world. Philanthropy is not just something good to do. I think it should be part of our DNAs.
When I think about all that we've gone through as neighbors, as a country, as a world, and the response for philanthropy, I am just so grateful.
The idea that we have so much difference in between the haves and the have-nots is disturbing, which makes the significant need for philanthropy, absolutely.
All together, we're working for one thing, is making our societies better, making our world better.
Your success, your liberation is bound with the success and liberation of your neighbors.
We can amplify those missions. So please donate and experience that joy for yourself.
And now Les Helmuth, if you can come forward, he will provide our invocation. Les has been a dedicated and tremendous leader in the fundraising profession here in the Shenandoah Valley, and we are delighted to have him with us today.
Let's pray. Almighty God, from the beginning of creation, you have filled the world with your abundant blessings. May we never cease to thank you for these gifts. As we gather here today, we are grateful for those who steward these blessings and share in the generosity of your goodness to our community. Today, we celebrate all people who give so generously of their time, resources, and talents to improve our community and increase our impact to feed the hungry and care for our homeless, assist our immigrants and those with minimal resources to find homes and services for living among us, to educate the young and eager to learn regardless of age, to support our families and those returning from war or prison, to address mental health concerns, to provide outreach through our churches, synagogues, mosques, and community services, to sustain our planet, to assist caring for animals, to support the arts throughout the valley, to help us remember our historical roots, to provide health care to those in our medical facilities, assisted living, and nursing environments, and to help our community work more closely together. Today, we are especially grateful for those being recognized for outstanding service and philanthropy, for Ted Sudol, Andy Huggins, Wade Subaru, John Jan Flora. They illustrate for all of us how generosity and goodwill can bring our community together, being good stewards of the resources and abundant blessings you have provided. For these, we give you thanks. Amen.
Want to move on to our first award now. Our first award recognizes an outstanding fundraising professional who practices their profession in an exemplary manner and is a member of the Shenandoah chapter of the Association of Fundraising Professionals. Please join me in viewing the video for this year's Sandra Neff Fundraising Executive Award recipient, Ted Sudol.
We nominated Ted Sudol for the Sandra Neff Fundraising Executive Award because he was instrumental, in fact, pivotal in enabling the new Blue Ridge Free Clinic to open here in Harrisonburg. He was well connected in town with the options for fundraising and made us connect very quickly with the Community Foundation for their Great Community Give. He quarterbacked that entire fundraising event and was able to launch a very successful fundraising campaign just for that one day. It turns out we were the 5th highest fundraiser in our category in all time for the Great Community Give, and we raised over $80,000 that day, largely because of the way he was able to coordinate that event for us. Not only has he been instrumental in helping the Blue Ridge Free Clinic get up and established, but he has worked passionately for the Big Brothers and Big Sisters in this town, and he's worked for years with the Muhlenberg Lutheran Church as their treasurer. So he's committed to this community, he's committed to the health of this community, and most recently he's been very committed to the health of our neighbors with unmet health care needs and has made sure that we're going to be able to provide an option for people that don't have another health care option. So on behalf of all the 70-plus volunteers that have now stepped up to serve in our new Blue Ridge Free Clinic, and for the hundreds of patients that are already receiving care, I just want to say a big thank you to Ted. We could not have done it without you, and we will be so grateful going forward.
It is my pleasure to invite Ted to the stage to receive his award presented by Susan Adamson.
I should have checked with Susan before to find out what she was going to say. So much for this. No, I'm only kidding. So, good morning. You know, there are people that come on to the stage, to the microphone, and they say, I can't tell you what this means to me. And then they take out pages of notes, and they spend the next 30 minutes telling you what it means to them. That's not me. I'll do it in about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. You might have noticed that there's some folks among us that don't quite look like they're members of the AFP, but they should be, because they're excellent fundraisers. Sometimes they're raising money for breast cancer research. Sometimes they're raising money for a new PlayStation. But I'm fortunate to have 7 of my 8 grandkids here with me. They're accompanied by their moms, Allison and Lindsay. And so I'm glad to have Riley and Adrian and Sydney and Cassidy and Chase and Barrett and Lincoln all here for this day. They're happy too because at home it would have been peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You know, I've been engaged in fundraising since I was 19 years old. I've raised a lot of money from a lot of very generous people. Many of them are here in the Shenandoah Valley, and many of them are found throughout the world. I love what I do. I love the rewarding experience of helping caring people figure out a way to make the gifts that they aspire to make. In my case, mostly that's gifts of a lifetime, the big legacy gifts. You know, whether it's a new program that's getting started, whether it's a new building that's being built, whether it's a new organization coming into existence, I just love what I do. And I think I'm pretty good at what I do. I've had great mentors over the years. Ron Carrier is probably the one that I now miss the most. And I've tried to give back by being a mentor to new and younger professionals as well. One of the things that Another thing that I've noticed, particularly during the pandemic, is that our profession is needed in this world. We're kind of like philanthropic Sherpas. We're guiding organizations as they connect with donors and sponsors, as they're scaling fundraising challenges, as they're working their way up to the summits that they seek. We're making an impact in the world, at least in our corner of the world. Now, if you've ever heard the word Ikigai, then you're ahead of me on this, because Ikigai is thought of as a force that helps us find purpose in life, that helps us to experience fulfillment. And I know that in my life I have been touched by the power of Ikigai. And there's probably no greater example of that than what brought me to the stage here today. About a year ago, my neighbor, Susan Adamson, asked me for a few hours of time to meet with a small group that was trying to save the old free clinic from closing. Well, those few hours turned into a 3-month quest. You know how the story turned out there. But we regrouped over the holiday. We knew what we had to do. And so on January 12th of this year, I filed the papers and we incorporated the Blue Ridge Free Clinic. 11 days later, I filed the papers with the IRS. 64 days after that, we had our IRS determination letter. A few days later, we raised almost $80,000 as the 5th highest fundraiser in the Great Community Give. And 90 days after we incorporated, we opened our doors to the community. Now, and in the 7 months since then, we're really living an if you build it, they will come kind of story. The donors, they came. They still come. Nearly every day, literally, donors are stepping forward and supporting us. Volunteers, we have an all-volunteer staff with 70 of the most dedicated volunteers I've ever met, and the patients. We've had 700 patient visits in 7 months. We have 350 patients. We're doing life-changing care, and in some cases, we're providing life-saving care. Well, I've never been involved in an organization that's been more rewarding than the Blue Ridge Free Clinic. So that's a little bit of my story. I really appreciate that I've been honored with this award, nominated by my friends at the Blue Ridge Free Clinic. And you know, when you're honored by your peers, it just doesn't get any better than that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ted, and congratulations again. Before lunch, which will be served next, please take out a business card if you have one, or just a piece of paper, and write something on the back that you are thankful for. This has become a tradition at National Philanthropy Day. And then also write the name of your favorite nonprofit. We will collect these cards about halfway through lunch, and then we will draw one at the end of the luncheon. The Shenandoah chapter will make a $100 donation in your name to your nonprofit. For now, please enjoy your lunch. The Corporate Philanthropist Award recognizes a corporation or its foundation who has demonstrated outstanding commitment to philanthropy through financial support and community involvement. Let's watch the video for this year's Corporate Philanthropy Award recipient, Wade Subaru.
We nominated Bob Wade Subaru for the Corporate Philanthropy Award really because of their abundant generosity. It's not just the RMH Foundation and Centera RMH Medical Center that benefit from their philanthropy, but it's the ASPCA, it's the Make-A-Wish Foundation, it's Meals on Wheels, it's the National Parks Foundation. There are a lot of other organizations and really our entire community who benefits through the good that they do. So I think Bob Wade Subaru's accomplishments should be measured not in just the amount of money that they've given, but in the impact that they've made through their gifts. So they've supported our Heart and Vascular Center for several years, and in so doing, they've helped us build a hybrid operating room where we can do minimally invasive procedures that were previously unavailable in our community. It's not an exaggeration to say that the gifts that they've given have been life-saving in many ways. One of the things that we've really appreciated about Bob Wade Subaru as a partner is that their giving is not just a transaction, but it's an extension of their relationship and really an extension of their desire to make a difference in the community. That loyalty and that desire to make an impact has really made a difference for us and for our patients. So Bob Wade Subaru inspires not just me, but really everyone at the RMH Foundation, because they don't just view themselves as a car dealership, but really as a community partner who has the opportunity and the influence to raise the quality of life for everyone in the community. They've certainly done that for the patients that we care for at Centera RMH. We couldn't be more grateful for the difference that Bob Wade Subaru has made at the RMH Foundation and Centera RMH Medical Center, but as a member of this community, I'm grateful for the good that they do and all the other organizations that they support as well.
It's my pleasure to invite Bob Wade Subaru to the stage to receive their award presented by Corey Davies.
Good afternoon. I hope everybody enjoyed your lunch. It was great. Thank you for having us today. First and foremost, I wanted to say thank you on behalf of John Wade, who unfortunately could not be here with us today. He had a separate engagement. Also, I wanted to say thank you from the entire staff of Bob Wade Subaru and Bob Wade Auto World for this thoughtful award. A special thank you to Jan Wendelken, who nominated us for this award. In September, now I'd like to go over a little bit about the Bob Wade history. In September of 1980, Bob and Kathy Wade found Bob Wade Lincoln, Mercury, Subaru, Isuzu, Suzuki, and opened up downtown Harrisonburg, as some of you might remember. Just 11 years later, they relocated to South Main Street, where they built a separate facility for the Subaru brand. Bob and Kathy strived for customer service and customer-oriented and created a family atmosphere for their employees. Being a part of the local community was a top priority for both of them. John grew up in the car business and looked forward to coming back to Harrisonburg to join his dad to run the family business. Unfortunately, unexpectedly, Bob passed away in 2010. Unfortunately, in 2011, Bob passed away unexpectedly. Never missing a beat, John jumped in with both feet and took over, knowing those that worked at Bob Wade depended on him. He worked day in and day out to make sure the business was a success, never quitting, never giving up, and never making excuses. His unselfish, always willing to listen big heart is a major reason his employees' retention and loyalty is so high. He truly cares about his employees, like family. John truly believes it can always be done, and it's his responsibility to make sure those who work for him had a secure environment to come to daily. John supports the community and gives back way more than people realize, and that's the way he likes to be known. John's not a spotlight person and deflects praise more than he should. It's not about the recognition for him, it's about doing the right thing, like teaming up with great people like the RMH Foundation. He's a great leader, mentor, and friend, and I heard a quote one time that specifically defines John Wade: do something so big you never have to brag about it. Others will brag for you. John is a great person. He always loves to give back to the community. It's a pleasure working for him. We're happy to accept this award on his behalf. So we appreciate everything that's been given to us and everything that we can give back. Without the community, we don't have anything. Thank you.
Our next award is the Spirit of Philanthropy, honoring individuals or small groups who exemplify the spirit of giving through their contributions of time, talent, and leadership in our community. Please join me in viewing the video for this year's Spirit of Philanthropy Award recipient, Andy Huggins.
Andy Huggins is very deserving of the Spirit of Philanthropy Award. Our motto nationally is whatever it takes, and Andy will do whatever it takes to help the youth at the Boys and Girls Club. He does everything for the kids, and he says that emphatically and over again. Andy has been instrumental in creating a culture of philanthropy at our club and also within the community. He's a founding member of the Harrisonburg-Rockingham Community Foundation. He has been involved in assisting others with their philanthropies. And so I think the community-wide efforts that Andy has exhibited are shown in all the organizations which are still standing that he has helped create and support. What I think Andy would not say about himself is that he has been a role model for those who are interested in giving but may not know how. And he has exemplified that and modeled that for many. Thank you, Andy Huggins. From myself, the board, the youth of the club, and the community. You've been a great inspiration and leader for over 25 years.
It is my pleasure to invite Andy Huggins to the stage to receive his award, presented by Sandra Quigg and Doug Light.
Thank you, Cedric Quigg and Doug Light and all the board directors for the Boys and Girls Club. It truly is an honor and privilege to accept this award. And for those of you who know me, I'm usually not at a loss for words. And that was the case when Sandra gave me the call about a month ago and told me about this. And so I definitely was moved and speechless. But that was a month ago, so I have a lot to say now. So, so Ted, I can't tell you how much this award means to me, but I think I've got it in less than 30 minutes. So, after being in this community for 40 years, I didn't get to this place in life without a lot of love and support from my family and friends, and from the teamwork from my colleagues and coworkers and communities. So bear with me. I have a few people to thank. Alan Shelton reminded me when I came in today that he was a former recipient of this, and he told me I had some big shoes to fill. So thank you, Alan, for getting me a little nervous before I came up here. But first of all, I wouldn't be here literally or figuratively without my parents. My dad was an Angus breeder, and so like most farmers, he worked from sun up to sundown. So I believe I got my work ethic from my dad. My mom was a school teacher prior to having a family, and I was a baby of 4, and so I have 2 older brothers and older sisters. So of course I saved the best for last. But my mom worked tirelessly, of course, in addition to raising us kids and keeping the books from my dad's farm. She always found a way to give back to the community, whether it was through the church or being a leader of the Cub Scouts or my sister's Girl Scouts. She was the very first president of the Girls Club in Bowling Green, Kentucky, where I was born. Back in the early 60s, They were separate. There was a girls' club and there was a boys' club. And I remember vividly my mom picking me and my sister up after school, and we'd go to the club a couple of times a month for meetings. And I was the only boy in this gym of all girls. And so I'm going to take credit for the Boys and Girls Club coming together because I integrated from the beginning. But my mom taught me the importance of giving back to others in need. I believe the spirit of my mom passed through me to my daughters, Charlotte and Lily. I'm glad to have Charlotte with me here today, but I'm just so proud of the human beings you've become. Caring, compassionate, creative, beautiful inside and out. Charlotte and Lily can't be here today. She was here yesterday, but she's a nurse at MCV, so she had to go back to work today. But Charlotte and Lily have their whole adult life spent their time caring for others. They've literally traveled around the world with local doctor and close friend John Glick and his classmate from MCV, Patch Adams. There really is a Patch Adams. And Charlotte and Lily have traveled to Haiti, Peru, Russia, Guatemala, to name a few, sharing love and light where there's darkness and despair. And I got to witness that a few years back when Charlotte and Lily invited me to an alternative spring break to Guatemala, and I got to see firsthand the magic that they create in connecting with other people. So I've been back 3 other times with Charlotte and Theo, so we had 3 generations of clowning. So thank you for sharing your love with others and for allowing me to continue to be a part of your life. I also want to thank my AT family. Many of you know Eddie Bumball, Dick Wessel, and I completed a 20-year journey of hiking the Appalachian Trail this past year, and it really was one of the most challenging, rewarding experiences of my life. And in addition to just being submerged in nature, the bond that Eddie and Dick and I have is priceless. So thank you. Jane, Eddie's wife, couldn't be here today, but she and Bonnie summited Mount Katahdin with us last summer. And although Lois didn't summit, she's been a part of every trip. We never left Harrisonburg without a Tupperware full of her homemade cookies. So thank you, Lois, for being a part of that. But I appreciate the love and support that you guys have given me and continue to give me. I mentioned Bonnie a couple times. Bonnie Young, we've only known each other for 3 years, and I'm too old to call her my girlfriend, my partner, so I'm calling her my soulmate. But people have been asking us, what are you going to do now that you've hiked the Appalachian Trail? So Bonnie and I have a new bucket list. We want to see all the national parks, and so we bought a used Airstream, and so we're going to be traveling throughout the country. So look on Facebook, you'll see pictures of us. But thank you for coming into my life, and I can't wait for our adventures the rest of our life. Next, I want to acknowledge my home or my work family, the Marius Group. It's hard to believe that next year I'm starting my 40th year in this business. Hey, Wes, I'm trying to keep up with you, buddy. But I truly am blessed. I learned early on in playing sports my whole life the importance of teamwork, and you can accomplish so much more as a team than you can individually. And so I'm proud to have my team here with me. Chris Gaynor, who's been with me for 30 years, the CEO, I call him. And then Margaret Donald and Nicole Taman have been with me, as Nicole likes to say, 15 long years. And Josh Kiger is not here today. He's with his family reunion. But also I'm glad to have Julie Jones here. She's been a part of my practice from throughout the whole time, it seems like. And she keeps trying to get away, but I keep having these projects to keep her in. So I'm glad that she also has her daughter, Faith, join us today. So Faith is a freshman at Virginia Tech. Do we have any Hokies here, by the way? I just want to see if y'all were still listening. So, but anyway, I want to thank my team for allowing me the time and flexibility to serve our community while you continue to serve our clients. So thank you. The Boys and Girls Club. 25 years. It's been an amazing ride. I've been proud to be a part of this group since its very beginning. We've been serving kids in a positive, safe place and providing them a place to continue to grow and learn and have fun and play. Sandra's done an amazing job. She's only been here 2 years, but with this COVID, she's calling them dog years. So it really feels like 14, right, Sandra? But she's put together an amazing team. She works 24/7. Doug and I will get texts throughout the night, right, Doug, and even on weekends. So I don't know when she sleeps. But she's put together a dynamic team. Matt Kratz is our program director, and Matt's had to, of course, integrate all the crazy protocols from the federal and state level, and has done an amazing job. And we've gone from one club serving 20 kids to 7 clubs serving over 400 kids a day. And so we have a waiting list at every single one of our clubs, and just like most businesses, we don't have enough staff to support those. So if you know anyone out there that's looking for a job, tell them to call Matt. But Matt will tell you our number one priority is safety. That's right, Doug, right? Number one priority is safety, but fun is A1. Is that right, Matt? And it's interesting that they did a survey. The kids answered a survey, and 98% of our youth feel the club has a safe and nurturing environment. 98% state the clubs are fun and engaging activities. So to get preteens and teens to agree on 98% of anything, that's pretty amazing, I think. But also want to recognize Melissa Cave. Melissa Cave actually is the longest tenured staff. She's been with us 13 years. She's the finance director, so she's seen good times and bad times. And she's also been a part of our Big Night committee for over the years. The Big Night is our biggest fundraiser of the year, and of course I see a lot of faces out here that have attended that. And I have to mention Bev Randolph, my good friend. She couldn't be here today. She actually left at 4 a.m. this morning, helping her friend move to Florida. But she has been the creative guru, if you will, of this event, and has allowed us to raise quite a bit of money for our community, for the kids. So her passion for the kids has been second to none, and I appreciate her friendship too. Doug is the president of our board this year. He served this past year, and we appreciate your leadership. You've got one more year to serve, but you've got a dynamic team to work with. We have current board members and the past board members of the 25 years. Advisory board, Alan actually has served on the advisory board. Chaz, the CEO there, served on the advisory board. And we couldn't do it without all the support of the past 25 years and the community to continue to support the kids in our community who need us most. So we've been here for 25 years, and we're looking forward to your support for the next 25 years. And I can honestly say that the State of the Union of the Boys and Girls Club has never been better, financially, with a dynamic staff and a dedicated and devoted board. So thank you again for your support. And last, the Community Foundation. It's hard to believe I was one of the founding fathers, and I'm proud to share that title with 3 of my other friends. My good friend Larry Hoover, who you know has been a tremendous leader for our community, has passed away recently. John Vinci and Phil Stone Jr. Were the founding fathers, and we all learned about this Community Foundation from different places. We came back and started talking about it. And I don't know, I can look over here. We had a community meeting upstairs at Calhoun's. Everyone remember Calhoun's? It's now a capital L. But we had Alan Runk, who was executive director, who came in from Roanoke, and he made a comment that still sticks with me today. He said, in a community foundation, you're planting seeds of shade trees that you'll never sit under. Think of that, planting trees of shade trees that you'll never sit under. And it's amazing, 23 years ago, we had that seed planted. It was $50,000 by Eugene Lance and Wallace Hatcher. They were the trustees of C.D. Lance estate. And that $50,000 today, I just asked Revlon when she walked in, is now $65 million. Let's give a hand, that's pretty big. It's pretty amazing to see what we can accomplish when we work together. So in closing, I'm proud to be a part of this giving community. And I look out here and I'm very proud for the future and see great things happening with a diversity of ages and race and religion, and backgrounds. And regardless of your political persuasion, it takes a village, and we need 1,000 points of light to meet the needs in our community. So thank you very much. I'm truly honored.
Our final award today is presented to an individual or family with a history of exceptional generosity, giving time, leadership, and financial support to nonprofit organizations in our community. Please join me in viewing the video for this year's Individual Philanthropy Award recipient, John and Jan Flora.
Well, we nominated John and Jan Flora for the Individual Philanthropy Award this year because we feel that John and Jan really embody what this award is about. John and Jan have had a long history of not only being generous with their resources, but also with their time, their talent, being willing to engage with individuals and organizations throughout our community. I think more than just the work that John and Jan have done with Bridgewater Retirement Community, they have been involved with so many organizations across our community, you know, from the retirement community to Blue Ridge Community College. They are very involved in their church at Bridgewater Church of the Brethren. There's been lots of organizations that they have supported across our community. One of the things that really inspires me about John and Jan is that they've not just focused on one particular organization or one particular issue, but they have really been willing to share their generosity through their resources, their time, and their talent across our community to make a lot of organizations better, and I thank them for that. So John and Jan, on behalf of myself, Bridgewater Retirement Community, and the many others across our community that you have influenced through your philanthropy, I say thank you.
It's my pleasure to invite John and Jan Flora to the stage to receive their award presented by Rodney Aldifer.
Thank you, Rodney and Bridgewater Retirement Community, for nominating us, and thank you to the Association of Professional Fundraisers for the award. We were taught by our parents and our faith to give a lot to our church and to give back to our community, and we've tried to honor our parents in doing that. I'd also like to thank all the individuals and families in this room that mentored me in my career in this community. A lot of folks I had the privilege of working with are in the room, and they are significant philanthropists. And without their leadership and mentoring, I'm not sure we'd be up here receiving this award. And finally, I want to say that the greatest gift that our family's ever been involved with was Jan's gift of a kidney to my son, Scott. Thanks for that gift and many others. Thank you.
Well, I hope your heart has been warmed this afternoon. I know mine has. It's a privilege to be a part of this community. It's so generous, so thank you all for being a part of this day. It's been an encouraging time to be together. Let's give all of our recipients another round of applause. Please join me in thanking the important people who helped make today possible. First, our corporate sponsors, Atlantic Union Bank, Bridgewater Retirement Community, the Community Foundation, the Curtis Group, F&M Bank, Graves Light Lenhart, the Mirius Group, Centera RMH. And thanks also to our in-kind sponsors, Mid-Valley Press and the Daily News Record. And last, but certainly not least, thanks to our production sponsor, Appeal Production, for creating the videos and the recorded virtual program. Thanks to all our sponsors. This event would not take place without the hard work of a fantastic committee chaired by Kelly Snow. They're all listed in your program, but I'd also like to ask them to please stand and be recognized. Thank you all. In honor of each of today's award recipients, the Shenandoah chapter of the Association of Fundraising Professionals will make a $100 contribution in their name to the nonprofit organization of their choosing. This is also a great reminder to draw a business card. Okay. And we have drawn Peggy Caster. Where's Peggy? Congratulations. And her organization is Wayne Theater in Waynesboro, and she is grateful for peace of mind. Hopefully she doesn't mind me sharing that, so congratulations. Looking to next year, I invite all of you to submit a nomination to recognize a philanthropist or fundraiser at our 2022 National Philanthropy Day event. My email address is in the program, so please feel free to reach out with any questions or ideas. Before we leave, let's take one final pause. These last 20 months have been challenging in so many ways, but our community continues to take care of each other. Please join me in watching a short video that highlights how we do that. Thank you again for being here to celebrate National Philanthropy Day with us. You're welcome to stay and continue your time socializing and finishing up dessert. Safe travels home and happy Thanksgiving.